Like any other genre, with horror there are films we hate, films we like, and films we love. I'm here to talk about a film that will certainly be divisive amongst horror fans, and yes, a lot of you will hate it with an unbridled passion, while others will find something that they enjoy with it, but I want to share why I loved it and why I can't wait for it to get a streaming or a physical media release so I can enjoy it in the company of some of my closest movie buddies. I'm talking about rocker turned filmmaker Glenn Danzig's Death Rider in the House of Vampires. First, some background. I love a so bad it's good movie as much as I love a cinematic masterpiece. I just get a lot of joy and entertainment out of watching a good bad movie. And I consider myself a kind of bad movie connoisseur. I mean, I've had watch parties for films like Troll 2 or The Room, films like that. So I was absolutely stoked for Danzig's first film, Veronica, which had some buzz as being one of the worst films in recent memory. Now, if you've seen it, then you know it's not a so bad it's good movie. I mean, it's just bad. It's a mess. But I still had fun with it. I was laughing the whole way through at the bad acting, the shitty camera work, the non-existent production values, and the not-so-special effects. And yes, the directing. So, I was eagerly awaiting Danzig's next outing as a director with bated breath, and last year it finally arrived. Death Rider in the House of Vampires. And I immediately scooped up tickets for opening night. There was no way I was going to miss this one in theaters. No way. And folks, I gotta tell you, I absolutely had a blast with it. I'd even go as far as to say that I loved it, and I can't wait to introduce it to my friends who also enjoy a good bad movie. Now, you probably already know the plot. The Death Rider, played by genre fave Devon Sawa, travels to a desert vampire sanctuary ruled over by Count Holiday, who is played by the warlock himself, Julian Sands. The price of admission to Sanctuary? One untouched virgin. But soon, forces begin to align against Ryder as suspicions surrounding the nature of his visit to Sanctuary begin to take hold of the bloodsuckers within. Now, what you may not know is just how utterly unhinged and inept this film is, but in all the best ways. I mean, if you go into this film expecting your usual fare, prepare to be disappointed and probably angry. But if you know exactly what you're getting into with it, then you're most likely going to end up just like I did. Walking out of the theater with a big old goofy grin on my face and thinking, what the fuck did I just watch?
I don't think you want to come this way.
I mean, truthfully, I've never seen anything quite like it, and I've watched a lot of films in my time. This was rather unprecedented. Danzig makes so many bizarre choices throughout the movie with the way it's filmed, and there's scenes that drag on far too long, weird zooms, so many weird ass zooms. The camera focus will go in and out, strange camera movements that leave you wondering what part of the screen you're supposed to be looking at. I mean, this was amateur hour filmmaking, and yet for some reason, it worked. You just want to see what's going to happen next. Now, as expected, the acting is hit or miss, but that's also what makes it so much fun. Devon Sawa, he's giving it his all. And it's like watching a character who accidentally stepped out from a different film and somehow ended up in this one. But Sawa's so fucking cool and he just oozes charisma. Julian Sands is fine as well, but sometimes the camera would linger on him long after Danzig should have yelled cut. He's like trying to figure out where to look or, what to do with his hands, and it's just so awkward. Even Danzig himself chews the scenery playing a character named Bad Bathory, but he's just so out of place and weirdly over the top, it just adds to the hilarity.
I guess we're gonna have us another time.
There's also some fun cameos as well. Fred Armisen from Saturday Night Live, he shows up for a few seconds. The Soska sisters from American Mary and Rabid fame, they're here as well. And then there's Eli Roth. He's playing a character named Drac Cassidy, and he is having an absolute blast. You could tell that he knew exactly what kind of film this was, and he's just going for it. Danny Trejo here. He's got a cool cameo at the beginning. Once again, it goes on way too long, and it could have been trimmed a bit, but it probably would have taken away some of the unintentional hilarity of that particular scene. When you see it, you'll understand what I mean. Now, some folks, they go out of their way to try and make a cult film, and you can tell that's their intention. But I don't think Danzig was doing that at all here. His lack of self-awareness feels evident all throughout the film. It's like he's genuinely trying to make a solid film, but no. This one just has cult film written all over it, especially for fans of bad cinema. Once this one hits a streaming provider, hopefully Shudder, I can see folks revisiting this one over and over again for the laughs it provides. It's one of those films that has to be watched with a group of people who appreciates insanity and ineptness in film. One of those you gotta see this to believe it kind of flicks. I mean, there's things that happen in this movie that make no damn sense. Explanations or reasons for characters and their actions they're touched on, but then they're quickly discarded. And it leaves you with even more lingering questions. Consistency and logic are just thrown completely out of the window. It's a glorious train wreck that had me crying with laughter, and I just absolutely loved it. I would take a sequel to this film in a heartbeat. All in all, I had a great time watching this, and I feel a lot of you would too, as long as you know exactly what it is you're going into. Now, here's where I have one major question. Where the fuck is this movie? Like I said, I saw it opening night of last year, 2021, in the theater, and since then, I haven't heard a peep about it. Nothing about a VOD release, nothing about it coming to a streaming service or hitting Blu-ray. It's like, what happened to this movie? Where is it? And when can we see it? When can I see it again? I mean, if you know, drop a comment below, because I need this movie in my life again. And the sooner the better. Because when it comes to highly entertaining, completely batshit crazy, so bad it's great filmmaking, I say, move over, Tommy Wiseau.
Oh, hi, Kevin.
Get out of the way, Neil Breen. And make some room, Ed Wood. Because Glenn Danzig is here. And he's going to entertain us like no one ever has before.